What's up, hip hop fans? Welcome to another edition of Hip Hop Hip. My name is Julian Williams. I'm staying kind of busy today. Kind of catching up a little bit with the channel. Um, since my short departure from doing the videos here and focusing mainly on the boxing channel, I'm just going to talk about G Dep. G Dep confessed to murder of his stepbrother that took place in 1993. I believe about a week ago, confessed to murdering his stepbrother, John Hinkle, um, and right now is being held in jail. But me, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on G Dep as a rapper, and I'm just gonna talk about the whole Bad Boy Records thing going on. Bad Boy Records, man, the record label's found in like the early '90s, and P Diddy, has had all kinds of pretty good rappers on the label. Craig Mack was a pretty good rapper. B.I.G. definitely one of the best of all time, um, lyrically. He's had Black Rob, who's an alright artist. G Dep, another guy who's just simply a lyrical rapper, and Loon wasn't necessarily a lyrical rapper, but he was I think he was that guy that Diddy wanted to bring over to the mainstream and cross over, but Loon wasn't able to do that. He wasn't able to captivate an audience on the pop level. So what does Diddy do to these artists? He gets rid of them. If you cannot cross over to the pop level, Diddy gets rid of you. That's just how it is. Diddy's strictly business. If you don't bring him money, he gets rid of you. And G Dep was one of those artists that didn't bring him much money. If you look at Craig Mack, Black Rob, G Dep, and even Shine, and Shine, who's kind of making a comeback right now, even though and I guess the prison sentence brought him a little more credibility in a way, and the fact that he didn't really say anything during that trial, brought him some street credibility. A lot of these artists, only had pretty much just one record, one big record under Diddy. G Dep was a guy that just didn't really cross over. Let's Get It in 2001, was one of my favorite songs. I like Let's Get It, and in 2002 with Special Delivery, especially the remix that I was just listening to, was another one of my favorite records. But G Dep was a guy that could not cross over. He didn't cross over to the pop audience, and he didn't have that persona that would cross him over to the pop audience. He made pretty much hardcore records. Now, what I did think was kind of shitty was Diddy taking his Let's Get It song, taking Let's Get It, and not put, and he did put it on Child of the Ghetto, I believe, but putting it in a compilation album. Let's Get It was quite successful, around the trial of P Diddy in 2001. Let's Get It was pretty popular. It was a pretty popular song that was played, on MTV2 Hip Hop, MTV TRL once and again, and was just always played on BET, on 106 in Park. I don't think it ever hit number one during a different era of 106 in Park with AJ and Free. But it was always played every single day on Rap City. It was like one of the most requested videos, and it was that song that kind of brought out the Harlem Shake, and the Harlem Shake was popular for about a year or two. But G Dep didn't really cross over. He just had kind of that hip hop audience. Now, Child of the Ghetto was an alright album. It was exceptional. It was at least listenable. But overall, that's just the only record that came out from G Dep. G Dep, to be honest, I thought that Child of the Ghetto got shitty promotion. I thought it came out at a bad time because in 2001, in November, all kinds of records are being released. In 2001, around the time Child of the Ghetto was released, to be quite honest, a lot of records were released at that time. C Murder dropped a record, The Outlaws dropped a record, I believe Miracle dropped a record, and these aren't necessarily relevant artists, but it was like if you watch Rap City, if you watch BET 106 in Park, it was like everybody was releasing records around the same time Child of the Ghetto was released. And I think even Master P released a record. That's back when Master P was losing his relevance in hip hop in 2001 when he released Game Face. But Child of the Ghetto was released around a lot of other albums. It was just released around, it just at a bad time in November 2001. And not only that, pop was just dominating the charts. People like Nelly, Jay-Z, Nas was making a comeback. All these guys are just dominating the charts and in hip hop. And G Dep was just a guy who was just in the picture. He was, now it's like this. When all these good records were being released, G Dep's being released in the middle of that. If they would have released G Dep in the summer of 2001, G Dep would have at least had a gold or possibly platinum selling album. When around the time Let's Get It was hot, and if you release special delivery right after maybe, and then I think he would have had a gold or platinum album. And me, I'm not an economics major or anything. I just know around the time, like summer 2001, there was some rap being released, but around June, July, that would have been the perfect time to release a G Dep record. But they released it in November 2001. They pushed it back, released it in November. Special Delivery was a hot track, to be honest. It was a hot track, but overall it just didn't cross over all too much. It was just a strictly hip hop record, but G Dep was strictly a hip hop artist that could not cross over. And I don't think G Dep wanted to cross over. He was released, had all kinds of trouble with the law, and all kinds of trouble with drugs. I'm not even sure what drugs he's on or what drugs he was using, but drugs makes you do really stupid things. And who knows the clarity to whether or not this is true or not? Who knows? I just know drugs make you do stupid things, and hell, like I said, we all have done stupid stuff in our life, but if this isn't true, this is beyond stupid. Now, I understand, and I understand having a guilty conscience. We all have had a guilty conscience one or two times in our lives. And maybe this was weighing down on him, and he needed to make things right. Not necessarily with God, with himself. And, he had this burden weighing on him for 17 years. So I do understand if he had to do it because he had a guilty conscience. I do understand that. But if he's doing that to kind of get attention, like some people are saying, then it's just stupid and pointless. Because if he gets attention, what the hell does it do? He wouldn't release any records. I mean, he wouldn't put out any records, so he was still making publishing checks from Bad Boy. He's making a good $20,000 a year from Bad Boy if they're paying him about like $5,000 from publishing checks. He was writing Last Train to Paris from another video I've seen. He was writing on that, so he's making some alright money. But overall, I just think that when G Dep was released from Bad Boy and he started getting into trouble, I think the industry kind of blackballed him in a way, blacklisted him. But I think there were labels that could have picked up G Dep. G Unit could have. They could have picked them up. They could have done something. They could have made them sell maybe a good 250,000, 300,000 when G Unit was hot, or a Murderica, somebody back in hip hop when they had the hot record labels, when you had the G Units, the Murder Incs, Bad Boy, Cash Money, when all the record labels were just signing people, Rockefeller, you name it. There was a lot of Rough Riders. There was a lot of good record labels at the time, and a lot of clicks at the time that could have used G Dep. And G Dep, could have prevailed if he would have stayed level-headed and, kept his mind straight and narrow, but he didn't do it. And unfortunately, I'm sitting here making this video about G Dep, an artist that could have done much better than he did. Was a pretty good rapper, pretty good rapper. Good writer. I know he was writing with Corrupt for a little bit. I know Corrupt was pretty fond of him and his style of rapping. Even admitted it on 106 in Park about 9 years ago. So This dude had a lot of potential, but he didn't live up to the expectations. Um, and unfortunately, Diddy kind of fucked him over when he put his record on the Saga Continues compilation July of '01. But hey, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, that was Hip Hop Head. Thanks for watching. Peace.